then the next year I made 130 grand. So I'm 20 years old, turning 21.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, just from being around the right people,
right,
and learning the right information. Now I'll finish this year with 250 grand minimum. I'm pushing for 365. So when I tell people that, they're like, man, like this dude lives a intense life, like, you know, working 10, 14, 16-hour days.
Yeah.
Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. Do you not have fun? Like I get that all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do you not have fun?
Yeah.
Why don't you live a little, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm living.
Realest podcast on the planet, JNP.
3, 2.
We're
Back
live.
in the house.
Yes,
Andrew
sir.
Kaspiris, all the way from Vancouver, Canada, came down to do the podcast.
Yeah.
What's up, man? What brings you down here?
Yeah, man. So just doing some personal development work right now. Just blocked off like 3.5 months almost just to, you know, make a big chip at what I want to do. So
what kind of stuff are you doing?
yeah, so just all about like communication, you know, learning how to like deal with people better, right? You know, it's a huge thing, you know.
So underrated.
Yeah, man. We deal with people all the time. So just learning, you know, how to deal with people better, learning more about myself, you know, and like how I work in different scenarios and like learning what my strengths are and my weaknesses and just figuring out that whole game, which is, you know, always interesting.
No, definitely. And you're working up with Corey
Yep.
at Grant Cardone, Canada.
Yep. Director of sales for Grant Cardone, Canada.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And that's when I met you, because I was up there doing a podcast with Corey.
Yep.
And then me and Kaspiris just kind of like
Hit it off,
hit
man.
it off.
Yeah, hit it off.
I was like, how to get him on.
Yeah.
So here we are, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time.
How's the job going? How's it working with Corey?
Yeah, it's sweet, man. Like the whole Cardone thing is just, it's just such a cool, because it's selling. So for those of you that don't know, like we sell sales training. So Grant Cardone University, for
Right.
everyone that's watching that doesn't know.
And then so that's teaching salespeople how to sell.
Yeah.
And you're selling that.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, you have to be such a good salesperson, because if you're not, what does that say about the product?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's kind of just like, oh man, like you're not a good salesperson. How good is this sales training, right? So like you're constantly held under this microscope to see like any flaw in your sales process, you know, your follow up, everything. So it's a cool thing because it brings your sales ability level like tremendously. You know what I mean? Like you just literally, like when I first started versus now, and I still have a long way to go, obviously, but it's just like night and day, you know.
Yeah.
Difference, so.
When'd you get started?
So
How'd you even
we
stumble into
started.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a cool story. So we started that in April of 2017. So me, Corey, whole bunch of guys. We all were working for the same company, this big construction company, doing sales there.
Right.
And the opportunity popped up, you know, to start Grant Cardone Canada, you know, start our own business. So a bunch of us just took a big risk. We all had like cushy 6-figure jobs, you know, doing well by like status quo.
Yeah.
And we just like decided, you know, like let's just take this risk and start something, which is super dope in itself, you know, like just taking that like leap.
Yeah, no, that's what makes you feel alive, you
Yeah,
know?
man.
It
Yeah.
gets the blood flowing.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard about you, Corey's like, because I was 20 when I was visiting up there.
How old are you now?
23.
23, cool.
So he's like, oh, there's this dude that works for me your age. He's making like 200 grand. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, going to college. Like,
You're like, man, I'm in Cali. Leave me alone. It's better here.
Yeah, exactly. That's just like the first time I heard about you.
Cool.
So now at Grant Cardone, Core,
Yep.
and like, how is that?
Yeah, well,
So who are your client? Like, who's your clientele?
So majority right now it's automotive.
Mhm.
I'd say probably like 80% automotive dealerships, you know, used car, new car, that whole thing. Just because like they have pretty big sales forces, some turnover. They need sales training. A lot of them already have it. But other than that, man, like really random industries, like things you wouldn't believe. I think the craziest company that we work with sells like the machines to milk cows. And I was just like, what? Or like a tombstone business. And if you think about it, they still need like sales training. Like they're still selling and like dealing with people. So some like industries that are wild that you wouldn't believe. But majority automotive, but that's just the beginning stage. You know, like Grant's office out of Miami, same thing. In the beginning, he was just automotive. And then now he's probably at the point where I'd say it's like 70% non-automotive.
Really?
So yeah, there's like this tipping point, you know, where you like get out of obscurity with enough different businesses across the country and you just get known.
That's so smart, because you get the whole automotive, and then you can kind of take it wherever you want.
Yeah, it's like you have a good base,
right?
And you've kind of like worked out the kinks, so to speak. Like I listen, all of our calls are recorded, right? So I listen to some of like my old stuff, or And it's
crazy.
brutal. You know, I'm like, how was I actually, you know, experiencing any success? And I said it like that. So it's just cool to see, like, again, that whole development thing is just amazing. And it's the people that come in and like the skill level that they build. That's something that you could take anywhere.
Right.
Because again, like tying it back full circle with what I said, you're dealing with people no matter what you're doing in life. You know?
Right.
So it's just like you learn really how to do that effectively, and the world's your oyster.
Yes, that literally helps you in every area of your life. Just being able to communicate with people, interact with people.
Man, it's nuts. Like even like my girlfriend and I, you know, like my family, like it just makes things smoother. Yeah. And it's like it's a less of a thinking thing and just more like a, hey, let's just like get into communication versus like let me think about it and like think about why she's doing this. I'm like, hey, I'd rather just talk to you about it and just figure it out versus like get in my own head. You know what I mean? It's a cool, it's an interesting game.
And so how'd you get into that? Like what's your full story like? Like where did you
man.
Take us back a little bit?
Taking you back.
Yeah, because I don't know anybody successful like making more money our age, you know? Like we're 23?
I just turned 24.
Fuck.
July.
24.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, so like how'd you get to where you're at now? Because like you're hella successful, man. And
Thank
like,
you, man.
I think people need to see more people like you that are like, can't just be like, because I see a lot of people my age like, oh, I'm young. Like I
got all this time.
Yeah, I got all this time making
yeah.
40 grand. Like, blah, blah. Like it's kind of all possible, man.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I take it back. Like, so I'm from Ontario. Canada, Ontario, represent the Canadians.
Yes, sir.
The maple syrup and the ketchup chips, you know.
Ketchup chips?
Yeah, that's
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Oh,
and I love ketchup.
It depends on what
Cassie,
brand.
I see you over there.
My girlfriend's here. She's a huge ketchup lover. Like, she eats toast with ketchup. Let's just leave it at that. I judge her. I judge her hard for that.
Toast with ketchup?
That's messed up.
Oh, Cassie, you're sick over there.
Not all Canadians do that, by the way. Let's. People watching this like, man, what's wrong with them? No, so I grew up. My parents got divorced when I was 1 year old. 1 year old, sorry. And obviously, you know, didn't have a big recollection of that. Like I didn't really take that in. And you know, and I don't actually think that impacted me where a lot of people think it impacts people like really extremely. You know, it's like, oh, people with divorced parents. I'm like, I kind of had like two families, which was cool. You know, great step parents. Christmas time, and I got double the presents.
You're eating good on Christmas.
I get 2 Christmases, 2 birthday. You know, like it was just cool. So I grew up in Ontario, and I lived with my mom, and I think my mom was making like 30 grand a year, raising me and my sister. Yeah. And I just saw that growing up, and I'm like, she would put us before her. You know, like she would wear the same like 3 outfits to work and just like wash them and rotate. And like she did that so that like when I wanted the GameCube, you know, she would do that for me. If I wanted a skateboard. So I saw that growing up, and I'm just like, I really appreciate and like, you know, love and admire my mom. I don't know how you can make 30 grand work in a GameCube in a year, man. I'm like, my rent is more than that, right? So it's just like, it blows my mind that she was able, like 2 kids, herself, food. And I never really knew that we were kind of, you know, in that class. Got it. Because like I had the things that I wanted, you know. Yeah, I wasn't, you know, like the top of the top, but I had like a GameCube, skateboard, you know, like all the little things. Right. So I grew up with that and like just admiring her. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want that. You know, like I want to be able to like really just, you know, make some things happen.
Yes, I love that.
You know. So when I was little, I mean, I was just around, I think, not the wrong group. You know, I like love all the guys that I grew up with, but we definitely went down that path. Put it that way. I lived in like a little town called Milton, and at the time when I was there, they were just building a movie theater across the street. Like I'm talking like there was nothing there when I first got there. So you're young, you know, I was grade 3, and you just get into trouble, man. Like you just do stupid shit all the time, and then it's like, what else do you have to do?
What kind of shit were you doing in Milton?
Man, some ridiculous. Like there was this one time. Hope I can't get arrested for saying this. So I was with my 2 little cousins, and we had our bicycles, and we took off, you know, like the rubber. Yeah. We took those off, and we went to this like parking lot and just like scratched a bunch of cars with our bikes.
Why?
Like just nothing to do. I was just like, it's stupid now looking back at it. I was probably like grade 2, so like 7 years old, you know, riding a bike and just like causing trouble. So just shit like that, right? So
imagine if someone did that to the Camaro.
I'd be pissed someone did that to my car. Yeah, you know, and it's like things like that just get a little worse and worse and worse. You know, start doing drugs, starting like going down that path. Ended up selling drugs, believe it or not. Like I sold weed for like probably 2 years of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, most people, like when you look at me, you're like, I wouldn't think that.
Maybe that's why you were good at it.
Yeah, it's just like it wasn't really known. So I did that, but like that came from my mom used to give me $5 every day for lunch in high school. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm in grade 9, and like $5 then actually paid for lunch. Now I feel like you couldn't even make that work. But like $5, there was like student deals. So I was tired of that though. I was tired of just like relying on my mom to give me, $25 a week, $5 a day, whatever it was. And, good for her for even being able to do that. Right. But I took that money and I saved it for like a week and a half and bought, 3.5 grams of weed and just went, yeah, man, like it's crazy, thinking about it. But I went down this path of like, and it's crazy because it's kind of entrepreneurial in a sense.
In its own little way, yeah.
Yeah, like I obviously don't condone it.
Right, right.
My little cousin, I'm like, hey man, yeah, that's where I started. Like that's the first step. No, like if I could go back, I don't know if I'd change it, but it's definitely not a great start. But it just got me thinking different because I was like, man, I don't want to work at Canadian Tire or McDonald's and make $9 an hour, right? Especially after I started doing it for a while. So I worked it up to a point where, I had 10 grand like stacked and I think it was like 15, 16.
10 grand off selling some weed?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was like moving, it's crazy too.
Oh
like when
God,
I tell people that know me now.
No. Oh yeah.
It's just like, no way,
No, I'm a little shocked. Yeah.
So, and like, again, went down that path, smoking weed all the time, pothead, just partying, drinking, doing all that stuff. And I did that really early in my life. Like I feel like a lot of people in college and uni start like going nuts. I did that in grade 9, grade 10.
Damn.
Drinking, partying, smoking weed, drugging, like just going down the wrong path. And then what happened was I got into this fight with this kid, and I'm not, it's the only fight I've ever been in my life. I'm not like I don't go looking for fights, but this kid was like not picking on me, but just like grilling me every time he saw me. So one day I just confronted him like what's up? Mm-hmm. And then that just led to one day him coming up to my locker, like the classic high school fight. Yeah. Comes up to my locker, let's fight after school. I'm like, all right, shit. Like I've never been in a fight before. Like I was like scared. the kids in my class, because that was right before like the last period. And there's kids in my class like, man, he trains like Taekwondo. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, what did I get myself into, And then we leave the school, and classic high school fight. Everybody leaves the school with you. Like
so they were like, kids were like hyping it up.
Oh yeah, man. Like the whole school, like the whole grade at least was there. And we walk over to the skate park. It's like 3-minute walk from the school. Yeah. And he's in my face. He's like, hit me. It's actually on YouTube. Shitty quality because it's 2010, 2009. It's on YouTube.
I might have to embed that.
Oh yeah, we totally can.
I'm going to do that for sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wow.
So it's just horrible footage. But this kid's in my face, and you can see in the video, he's like, hit me. And I'm just this little 120-pound soaking wet kid, grade 10, scared shitless. And I'm like, all right, take off your bag, because he had a backpack on. And then he takes off his bag, and you'll see in the video, I just like, no idea what I'm doing, but I just kick him in the leg. So he like lowered his guard. And then all my 120 pounds just into like one punch and just dropped it.
You tagged him?
Yeah, just dropped it. Young UFC fighter in the making.
Oh my God.
Just dropped this kid. And then like I go to kick him in the face, and then I like realize I'm like, whoa, like I could mess someone up. Right. So I don't do that. And then his brother tries to swing at me, and then that's when the video ends because my boy's filming it. We're grade 10.
Yeah,
so
he's trying to jump in.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So all chaos breaks loose. I go home. I'm feeling like the shit. I'm like, I just won my first fight. I got my squad with me. We're all like hyping it up. And then my mom's like, what happened? Because like my sleeves are rolled up. Yeah. I look a little like beat up. And then I was just hyped. And then I get home and tell my mom, show her the video. She's like, no. And then
showed her the video?
Oh, yeah. I was so proud of it, man.
Oh, my God.
And then we get home after that, show her the video, start talking. And then the house line rings. And I'm like, oh, shit. I start getting a little like, what's going on? And it's the school, and there was police officers at the school. And they're like, we need your son in the station. So I'm like, man, I got into a fight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like out here, I wasn't scratching no cars no more. Like I just got into a fight. So we go to the police station. I broke his nose. So I got charged with level 2 assault.
How hard you hit him?
I don't know, man. I don't know how much 120 pounds can do. It's like light featherweight or whatever. And I'm like, shit. Like I didn't really think about the consequences of my actions. So get charged with level 2 assault, and I'm just like, complete bullshit. I'm self-defense. You know, the kid's literally in my face. Lucky I had it filmed.
You had the video of it, yeah.
Yeah.
You were like, what, 15?
15 years old. Grade 10, yeah. 15 years old. And anyways, long story short, my mom gets a lawyer, right? I think she spent like $2-3 grand. Ridiculous for a fight.
Yeah.
We beat it. The charges get dropped because it was self-defense. The kid didn't show up to court a bunch of times. So it just got dropped. I was under 16, so it doesn't even impact.
It wouldn't have been on your record, right?
Yeah, anyways, but I think my mom was just trying to like, support and just make sure. So there was the area I was living in was the Halton region. So it's kind of like, I don't know, what do you guys have here that like covers a few cities? It's like a region. You know what I mean?
County.
Like a county. Yeah.
You got it.
So just different wording. So I was in the Halton region. Yeah. And I got expelled from my school because I got charged. Like level 2 assault. So I got expelled from my high school. And I was like, shit. And then I couldn't go to any school in my surrounding area. So I'm just like, shit, I'm halfway through high school. I built up all my friends from like grade 2.
Yeah.
Like some of my homies. And I gotta go move to Scarborough to live with my dad. Now, Scarborough is like not the nicest area. It's a little like rough, a little ghetto. Like there's a lot of violence, like shootings, drugs, like all the time. So I'm freaking 15, turning 16. I have to leave all my friends.
Sounds like a movie. It sounds like a great movie plot.
Man, maybe I should make one. This is the beginning. So I have to leave everything I know, like my mom, family, like all my friends, to go live with my dad in Scarborough. Luckily I had that. Otherwise I would have been screwed. My mom would have had to move, right? So I moved to my dad's in Scarborough. It's over the summertime. We're like visiting schools. I'm like, what school do I want to go to? There was this one school that had like what are they called? Like metal detectors at the front doors when you walked in. So I'm like, I'm not going to this school. If they have to have metal detectors,
that's bad news.
That's scary. Go to this other school, which is like super close to my dad's house. And there's just this dude, like he's got cornrows, he's got a grill in his mouth, like just grills, and he's just like staring at me as I go in, and I'm like, fuck, like these are my options. 15, 16. So go to that school, knew nobody, just tried to like figure it out. Ended up making a few friends through playing ball.
Of course.
Just playing basketball, like, you just start connecting with people, teaming up with them. They're like, white boy can shoot. Everyone just called me white boy. There was like 3 of us in the school.
Get in the corner.
Yeah, like you just pass it to me, hit it, then leave. And so I did that, and just such a big wake up call.
Yeah.
I really realized I'm like, this kind of looking back at it, like this changed my life for the better.
Right. Because
I was going down a dark path, man. Drug dealing doesn't lead to anything.
So did you stop selling when you went to?
Not right away. I was like, let me get my money. So I did it. I did it for a while, probably another year when I moved to Scarborough. But I wasn't selling it to anybody there. I was still selling it to people back in Milton that were selling.
Damn, you had a little empire.
Oh yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I was like kind of moving up, But I just realized after a while, I'm like, I feel dark.
Yeah.
I started to like my conscience was weighing in on me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change my life around. I'm gonna become a cop. Like
you knew the ins and outs.
Yeah. I'm like, I know what to look for.
Were you just selling weed, or did you escalate to?
I was
normally
selling weed.
Escalates to.
Yeah, I was selling weed, and then I started selling coke a little bit.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a dark slap.
That's a dark path to go down.
But like, again, I was like smart with it, like the entrepreneurial aspect. I was like, hey, I don't want to sell. I know it's crazy. I don't want to sell to anybody who's doing it because, like, man, like that could be unstable. Like someone, like fiending out for it. So I'm like, I'm going to sell it to people who sell it. So I never really dealt with anybody like sketchy.
Fucking Tony Montana.
Yeah, man. I was trying to build it up. So, but I had this moment. It was funny. My mom was visiting me in Scarborough, and we were like at this breakfast spot, and like it literally just a light bulb switched. I'm like, I don't want to continue doing that. I was like, I'm gonna become a cop. Always wanted to when I was a kid. When you're like freaking 5 years old, I'm like drawing out police officers and firefighters. So I go to school for police foundations. Make it through the first semester. It's a breeze. College first semester is just like, you're not even really learning anything, right?
Yeah.
Second semester hits, they hit me with like a textbook of all this legal nomenclature, right? So like the legislation, the laws, like all this stuff. And I'm just like, no part of me is having that. I thought it was going to be easy.
Right.
And then it goes into like, hey, like, no, you actually have to learn. So I think I'm 2-3 weeks in, second semester, dropout.
Damn.
Just straight dropped out of college. And, it was a tough time, not going to lie. Like, I remember my dad and I had a conversation. my dad and my stepmom were in the living room watching TV, and I came out. I didn't tell them. I told my mom because my mom was always supportive. Right. Like no matter what I did, my mom was,
shout out to moms.
Yeah, shout out to moms. I know she's watching. So I come out to the living room, my dad and my stepmom watching TV. I'm like, hey guys, we need to talk. My stepmom mutes the TV, looks at me. She's like, if it's about dropping out of school, don't even bring it up. I'm just like, how did you know? Like,
that's crazy.
Like that's the start to the combo.
She switched on, yeah.
Oh man, like, and she is, shout out Linda. She is something else. Like she gets angry, man. She is like but it's good, like that firmness. You need that in your life. So that happened, and we had this long, drawn out conversation, like I think 2-3 hours. Your kid's telling you they're dropping out of college.
Right.
You want to encourage them not to, but it's been like 2 weeks since I dropped out.
So you already long gone.
I already committed. Yeah, I just didn't want to confront it.
Yeah.
I'd have her drop me off at the school, then have my boy pick me up. Yeah, it was bad. She doesn't know that, but now she will.
Now she does. Shout out Linda.
Yeah, shout out Linda. So that conversation happens. It's tough. And I remember my dad said something, and I'm putting him on blast here, but he told me, he's like, you're going to end up cleaning toilets for the rest of your life. And that just like, like that hit something in me. Just kind of like, I wanted to prove him wrong, like, fuck you.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to end up down the wrong path. Like, so dropping out of school, didn't really have too many options. I was doing network marketing. Yeah,
you'd be good at that though.
Yeah, it was cool. We did well. So me and my buddy Daniel Ferrugia, I went to his basement. There was this like, you'd have events for network marketing, right? Mm-hmm. Like you throw a big event, people come. So one of my buddies from school was like, hey, we're having this business event. Check it out. Cause I was always like, my plan was to become a cop, make $100,000 a year after like 5 years, save up for a decade, and buy a McDonald's franchise. I was just literally, because I worked at a McDonald's in high school in Scarborough. I saw how much money they made. Like $20,000 cash a day in the hood. Yeah. And most people don't pay cash.
Yeah.
Even back then, like most people pay with debit, credit.
Right.
So I was like, fuck, this place makes money.
Yeah.
So my plan was like, I'm going to buy McDonald's and then start buying a bunch of them. And I'm just going to be that guy that's like 50 and just owns.
Posted.
Yeah, man, is rich. And then I was like, I'm going to start my own drink business, like a lemon lime drink, sell it to McDonald's.
Yeah. So it's in you though, that spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, like from a kid. I was always just, looking at things different. Mm-hmm. So anyways, fast forward to when I dropped out of school. My buddy's like, hey, come to this, business event. I'm like, okay, cool. After college. This is while I was still in first semester.
Yeah.
So we go to this guy's house. And I'm like, wait, I thought this was a business event. He's like, yeah, it is. Just come in. And I'm like super sketched out. I'm like, what's going on? Then we go to the basement. And I'm like, man, like what the heck? Because he's got like a really nicely renovated basement with a TV, whole thing where they held events. But I was like super sketched out. Anyways, they do the pitch. It's like an hour. Different speakers go up. They start building each other up. Like this next guy I'm about to bring on, he doesn't have to be here right now. Like that.
He's blessing us.
Yeah. So I was like hype. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I'm like, because I thought about it. I saw these kids driving, Mercedes, BMWs, and they're kids.
Yeah.
They're 20, 19 years old. The oldest guy was probably like 24.
Damn.
I'm like, shit. This is possible. So I think it was $500 to start. I literally at the end of it pulled out my credit card. I had $1,000 student credit card, pulled it out, and I'm like to my buddy, I'm like, yo, how do I sign up?
Yeah.
And just like jumped into it.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like that kind of network marketing kind of like took me from like, it's going to take me till I'm 50 to get rich.
Right. And
kind of like opened up the possibilities. I was like, man, like there's people doing it now. Like there's people doing it quick. It doesn't have to be this. I don't need to wait till I'm old.
Right. And
to have money.
That's what I think is so important. Like even when I went to visit you guys up there, I was like, holy shit. Like these guys are all like 24 to 27 racking out, like, living a good life, like living in where they want to live. And it's like, that opens my eyes too, and
oh yeah,
that's been great.
It's big, man. So that happened. And I didn't experience a lot of success with it. Mm-hmm. I built like a little team, probably had like 50 people under me at the time. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid though.
It's cool, but I didn't make that much money as you think you would having 50 people.
Right.
My highest month I made, I think $1,400.
Okay.
For 50 people. So anyway,
but even just managing 50 people will like
it's
help
a little
you in the
crazy
long run.
though.
Yeah.
But like the relationships, that's what's cool about network marketing.
Yeah.
I met some like dope people. Like my buddy Daniel Ferrugia, like him and I just hit it off from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So anyways, after a while of doing network marketing, probably a year, so not that long. He flies out, a year and a half maybe. He flies out to Vancouver. So from Toronto to Vancouver to go do a door-to-door job. now I'm thinking, I'm like, man, we got something good here. You know, like we got like this cool people looking up to it because the fame of network marketing is dope.
Right.
You know, like you walk in.
Fame in quotations.
Yeah, fame in quotations. Because it's a little
right.
group. But like you
group.
walk into a room and everyone's watching you speak. And you're just this dude that's like,
it's intoxicating.
But meanwhile, I was making, I think at one point, $500. And I was like flexing on people about $500. I'm like, $500 a month, residual income, you know? And that's the whole thing. Corey and I always joke about on Instagram, like residual income, bro, free BMW. And like we start going down this path. And so he flies out to Vancouver and I'm just like, you're nuts. You know, we tried door to door a little bit and like failed completely. We were selling furnaces. Yeah, furnaces, air conditioners, and I sucked. I did not. I sold one to my dad, you know, and I think 2 others in like 6 months of trying it. Yeah, you know. So and I was still doing network marketing the whole time.
Right.
And then my buddy Daniel flies across the country. I'm like, you're nuts. Like door to door doesn't work. Why are you doing this? He comes back 3 months later, shows me that he made $9,000 in 3 months. So I'm thinking, fuck, man. Like on a good month, I'm making $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, he just did what I'm gonna do in 9 months. In 3
months, yeah.
So I'm like, shit, but I still don't leave. And then my other buddy, Armin, flies out there, and he starts doing well. Then my other buddy, Sharpan, like this whole group. Yeah. I'm like, shit, man, I should try this out. And I heard about Corey. You know, I was like, Daniel, like, boosting Corey up. He's like, this dude's a stud. You know, this guy wears a suit every day. And, like, I always wanted that, right? That's part of, like, my dream of being rich as a kid was, like, I'm just going to be this old dude wearing a suit, just decked out, just rich, you know, driving like a Rolls. So I fly across the country. I had my $1,000 credit card, $700 on a one-way flight from Vancouver to Toronto for a 100% commission job. They paid for your housing and your cell phone and a car. So I was like, you know, worst case, even if I don't make money,
you're still.
Yeah. So, you know, the $1,000 credit card isn't as crazy. Yeah. But I get there and I meet Corey, and I'm blown away. You know, I'm 19 years old, 18 years old. This dude's making over $100,000 a year. And in that time, $100,000 in my mind was like always what I wrote down in my goals. 100,000, 6 figures. Yeah. You know, like that's like the classic, you know, network marketing thing. Yeah. So I see Corey, I'm impressed.
And he's only like 25 at this point?
Yeah, something like that. I think he's like 4 or 5 years older than me.
Yeah,
something
so
like that.
He's relatively young. Like he's young too.
He's a stud, man. Like doing well. He's sharp. He's got a nice beard, nice haircut.
Compelling. Yeah, very like, compelling.
Great salesperson, especially like in a group setting. Like that dude can work a crowd like something I've never seen before. So I'm sitting there, super young, impressionable, just like like, you know, this is the truth. Like this guy's spitting fire. He's talking about goal setting. All these things that are just like resonating with me. And I guess he saw something in me and kind of like every group that he onboarded, I think he always found like, you know, 1 or 2 guys that was like there.
Switched on,
You'd always tell. So him and I just kind of like, he took me aside, you know, rolling around in his Cadillac and beautiful car. I was, again, impressed.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's when I started working with that company and I started training on Grant Cardone's materials because they had them. And I went from making like, you know, I think that first, because I started in August and I made $30,000 by the end of the year. So I was like, man, I was making $1,000 a month. Like that's not bad. Then the next year I made $130,000. So I'm 20 years old, turning 21.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, just from being around the right people,
right,
and learning the right information, right? So that happens. But then
wait, so you went from $30,000
to 130
to 130 in a year?
Yeah.
It's fucking possible, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these excuses.
We got you, man. And it's like, look, I'm not. So you always hear people that are successful say, "Oh, I'm not special." There's a part of me that disagrees with that because I actually think like there's something in you that makes you want it more. Everybody can, but there's certain people that really want it more, and I just wanted it badly. Yeah, I was just tired of like just being average and just like doing normal things. I'm like, I always wanted more.
Right.
And then just knowing that it is possible. Like it isn't, and this is why I think successful people always say, hey, like if I could do it, you could do it, because they want to be inspiring to everybody watching. But it's like, hey, like it's not easy. Right. I had to give up like, you know, hanging out with friends. I had to give up drinking, smoking weed, like all this stuff that I thought was cool, partying, right? To like just really pursue my passion, like not even my passion, really pursue the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Know? I was, you know, hardcore money driven, just like, hey, because I know what it provides. Money provides options. You know, when I go to Lululemon with my girlfriend, you know, and she's looking at leggings and then we go there. She's like, I just need new leggings. I'm like, cool. It's like $100. And then we get there and she's like, oh, let me try these track pants on, you know? And I'm like, she comes out, she's like, how do you, I'm like, I love them. And she's like, cool. And then she's like, let me try another pair, you know? And she's like, I want to try a different color. And she's like, oh, I only get 2. And I'm like, babe, get them all. You know? I'm like, that's what money, and again, that's a small flex.
Right.
Small flex. So Lululemon ain't nothing
Cassie.
special. But it's $300 US. Okay. So the Canadian conversion rate, it's like $500.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money itself, but it's like what that can do for you.
Right.
I don't actually like think about what things cost when I'm shopping. You know, we were buying a gift for a friend, and Cassie's like, "How much is it?" I'm like, "Not enough to worry us." You know, I'm like, "What's it max gonna be?" We're in Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Nobles, is that what it is?
Yeah, Barnes and Noble.
In Canada, we have Chapters and Indigo.
Okay,
so it's just same thing. So I'm like, "What's it max gonna be?" It's like a cup. I'm like, $50.
Yeah.
You know, on the pricey side. So it's just like, you know, money provides options. So I always knew that, and started working with, you know, Corey, you know, that whole team. And then, but the problem is you start thinking you're the shit. Like you really like, I started like my ego kind of like blew up because I'm this kid. I didn't grow up rough. Like, you know, as my story, I didn't grow up rough. I didn't grow up like killing life and like having everything I ever wanted. But going from that to like, man, I'm making $100,000.
Yeah.
20 years old.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
You know, you start to think your shit doesn't smell though. Like,
and especially because all your friends are probably not even anywhere close to that. Too. Or like people you grew up with
still
at least
still
are
in
not.
Like college, university. They're in debt, $50,000, $100,000. I'm just like, I'm the shit.
And even the people that are making more than you, you're 5 years older than me. Like,
bro, you're 40.
Yeah.
Like people work their whole career to get to $100,000, and a lot of people don't.
Right.
So I think I'm the shit. My ego just like my head gets even bigger, you know, than it already is. I just blow up. And then I remember just like, this is why I love listening to Grant Cardone's content so much, because he just checks you. Like recently I was listening to something, because it happens at different levels. You know, now I'll finish this year with $250,000 minimum. I'm pushing for $365,000 a day, $1,000 a day. That's the goal this year. So I'll listen to Grant, and again, making $250,000, you know, 24 years old, that's pretty well in like society's eyes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But then you listen to Grant, and Grant's like, man, I donated $300,000. He's like, oh, you guys making $300,000 a year? He's like, I donated $300,000 to charity last week. He's like, I've done that 3 times in the past few months.
Right.
I'm just like, fuck, there's levels to this.
Definitely.
You know, there is. So it's just like, it's a constant evolution. You know, this is a long answer to my story. But like, it's just been a constant evolution of just like levels. Like there is just levels, and you just keep, as long as you like don't get stuck being comfy and you just keep moving,
right?
You can, right? Like I went from 130 to then when we started the business, man, I made $47,000 that year. We took a big hit. My first paycheck was, do you have my wallet? I keep it on me in my wallet. My first paycheck,
really?
Yeah, it's probably in the car. My first paycheck was like $187 for a month.
From when you started Grant Cardone Canada?
Yeah. So I went from, you know, 10, 11, 12 grand a month. My best month was like almost 20 grand at that time, right? Because I had like a big month and then shit month after. And then $187 in a month. I was like, fuck. Did I make the right decision? You know, like doubts.
That must have been fucking with you, yeah.
Oh, man. And then like, you know, then I started dating my girlfriend at that time. And I met my girlfriend 2017, beginning of 2017. So I'm like a year and a half into like my gig. I'm feeling like the shit, you know, feeling I'm doing really well. And then I met her, and she didn't pay me any mind. Like, no, like I thought we were hitting up because we're like, you know, she's from Toronto. I'm from Toronto. We're in Vancouver. So I'm like, you know, trying to run game. Corey brings her to me. Like I'm in this like parking garage helping people from the company come in, big company event. And Corey drives by with her. And he's like, oh, we're going to come say what up. I want you to meet Cassie. And I'm like, oh, like sweet. Like I kind of saw her as she drove by. I'm like, damn. So she comes up. I'm like blown away, and then I'm just like, damn. Okay, like you know, let me shoot my shot. So yeah, let me shoot my shot. So I started like talking to her, and like I'm like, oh, where are you from? She's like Toronto. I'm like, oh, perfect.
You're like, yup.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm in. And I'm like, oh, cool. But she's like not even like looking at me. Like she's looking and then just like, you know, looking away. She's not really like paying me any attention. So I'm kind of like in my feelings a little. I'm like, shit. So anyway, she leaves. It didn't go as I wanted. I don't even think I got her number. I think I got her Snapchat.
Hey, we'll take that.
You know, and back then Snapchat was like Instagram is now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Snapchat was popping.
Yeah.
So I don't know, on Snapchat. A few months go by. We start talking on Snapchat a little bit, you know. Nothing like at all, like pure friend zone content. Like
it's like that.
But then she's like, it was brutal. But then she's like, hey, I heard you're coming to, I always went back to Ontario for Christmas, right? And she lived there. She's like, hey, I heard you're coming back to Ontario. Let's meet up. So I'm like, the persistence is paying off. So she's like, you and Daniel, my buddy Daniel Ferrugia. She's like, you and Daniel come over. I'm like, perfect. Bring a bottle of wine. She's like, oh, yay, wine. And so we come over. And then, like, we get in. She opens the door. And she's like, oh, keep your shoes on. Everyone's got their shoes on. I'm like, what do you mean everyone's got their shoes on? I'm like, oh, who's here? She's like, oh, just having a get-together. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding. So I go in. I'm 20. What am I, 21? I'm 21. Uh-huh. And, you know, she's 4 years older than me. She was 25. Or were you 24 then?
Damn.
25. So I'm like, yeah, I got my eyes on her.
Yeah.
And then everybody's there, all these random like 30-year-olds, and like, cause her network's all like older people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just straight like introverted, cause I'm just like, shit, like these dudes are impressive. Right. Like some of them running their own business or just like jack shows. I'm just like, shit, man. I'm just this little. I was wearing like ripped skinny jeans, a hoodie. I had Vans on, you know. and then so we start talking, and I see she has a book collection of like really good books, like a lot of books that I've read, like The Alchemist, Think and Grow Rich, you know, all this shit. So I'm like, oh cool, Cassie. I'm like, you read? She's like, yeah. So we start talking, and then I saw she had a tattoo on her wrist. So I'm like, oh cool, what is that? And like kind of like seductively tried to like, you know, grab her arm. And she's like, oh, I got more. Yeah. And she's like, I got one on the back of my neck. And she's like, and I have another one here. And it's like, you know, right on her rib cage. She's like, here, I'll show it to you. And pulls me into her bedroom and like, you know, lifts up her shirt to show me her tattoo.
Cassie just rolled her eyes.
She says I tell this story differently. This is what happened. I was sober. So so this happens anyways. She wasn't actually being like flirtatious. I was just like, you know, I'm trying to.
You got to take it that way.
Yeah, you know, I got it. So then I touch the tattoo, and this dude walks in, and it's her friend that she's known for like a decade or some shit like that. She was older. And then he like just cop blocks the moment. So I'm like, shit. So I stay up until 5 a.m. Like all of us just drinking, stay up till 5 a.m. And it's me, her, and this guy. I was like, man, I'm just like trying to like outrun this guy. Like let him just go to sleep.
Oh, it was just you three?
Yeah, he was just, but they're like best friends, you know? And I was like, fuck. So anyways, I stay up the whole night. Then I can't make it. Then it's like 5:30. You know, I had to be home. Yeah. I'm 21 years old. I gotta go see my family for Christmas. So anyways, I start talking with Cassie. I'm like, hey, when are you flying back to Vancouver? And I get her to screenshot her flight and send it to me. I haven't booked my flight back to Vancouver yet. So then I start looking. A regular flight was like, $500-$700. The flight she was on, the only seats available were in business class. It was like $1,400. So I'm like, okay, I have an option.
You're so wild,
man. Because you know, once you really like meet someone though that like you feel you connect with, it's just like, man, go for it, shoot your shot. So I'm like, fuck it.
You're shooting a couple shots.
I've been shooting too many shots at this point, but persistence, right? So I booked this flight. Message Cassie back, hey, we're on the same flight. I'm like, hey, we're on the same flight.
I'm fucking weak. Oh,
yeah. I'm like, hey,
what a coincidence.
Yeah, like, oh my God, it's not like you just screenshot it and then I followed it. So I'm like, hey, she's like, why don't you just come stay at my place and then we'll fly out together in the morning, because it was like a 9 a.m. flight. I'm like, perfect. I'll bring a bottle of wine, sleep over at your place. So now I'm like, hey, like
that's a W.
Yeah, I got the bag. Like I have secured the bag. And then I go pick up some wine. My stepmom drops me off. I get there. I'm like, perfect. She's packing. You know, I'm like, okay, cool. We start drinking, you know, glasses of wine. She's drinking most of it. And I start helping her pack. And then we finish. And she's like, all right, like it's getting late. She's like, all right, she's like, I'm going to go to bed. She's like, you sleep in my room. We're in her bedroom at this point. She's like, you sleep here. I'll sleep on the couch. And she's like, if you could imagine like a hallway and the door out of her room, I'm standing in the hallway, kind of like blocking her way. She's like, you sleep in here, you know, I'll sleep on the couch. And I'm like trying to be all seductive and like, you know, square my shoulders up, block the hallway. And I'm like, no, it's all good. I'm like, you sleep here, I'll sleep on the couch. But in my mind, I'm like, you sleep here, I'll sleep here too. And then she just got firm. Like, she's like, no. She's like, you sleep here, I'll sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
And just, like, put me in my place. I'm like, fuck. Man, like, you know, inviting me over, sleeping over, wine. I'm like, I'm thinking I got it made. And then we just start spending time together, though. Like, you know, we fly on this flight. I'm not even anywhere near her on the seating range. Waste of $1,400.
Yeah.
Like, stupid. We land. We were like hitting it off in the airport a little bit. I started noticing a more like physical contact, you know, nudging her, flirting. And she was like, you know, sending some vibes back. So I'm like, okay. And then land in Vancouver. And she's like, hey, let's go eat. So we go eat. And then we just start hanging out. But I just felt like she was friend zoning me. You know, like there was no real intimacy. Like she'd make jokes like how you make with your friends. But I'm like, is she flirting? Like, what's the deal?
And you start to overthink.
Yeah. You know, I started getting in my head way too much. And then anyways, we're at this hotel because the company put us in a hotel for a big event. And then two of my buddies come over. She's really close with one of them. His name's Riley. Shout out Riley. And she's like super close with him, you know? And we're all drinking, but then they start like, you know, I feel like they're hitting it off. I'm like, fuck, man, like I'm losing it to my bro. Like, come on. I obviously didn't tell him.
Yeah.
And she, in her mind, she's like, he's like the first friend I made in Vancouver. Like, you know, like we're just tight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, you know? And then I kind of give up. Seriously, at that point, I was kind of just like, fuck, man, like, you know, maybe this isn't it. I thought so. And she's like, Andrew, let me pop your pimple. This is like, we're like kind of drunk. Yeah. This is the weirdest way, okay, to ever like hit on someone. She's like, let me pop your pimple. I'm like, what the fuck? Going to the bathroom. Now I'm like, now I'm really friend zoned. Got this girl popping my pimple.
That's how I would think too.
You know what I mean? We get in the bathroom. She closes the door, locks it, starts kissing me. I'm like, shit.
That's fucking sick.
I'm like, shit, yo. So I start going in. Like, I start going in for the kill. My buddy Riley's knocking on the door. Because we've been in there for like 5 minutes. That's a long pimple pop. So he starts knocking on the door. I open it real quick. I'm just like, bro. I'm like, just life chats. I'm like, you understand. You know, because being drunk, you just get into these conversations with people sometimes. You know, you just feel like you're hitting it off. Close the door, lock it. She's like, no, we can't let anybody know.
Was he trying to get with Cassie, though?
I mean, I think he was.
I think so, too.
Riley. Yeah, but like, you know, she always says no, but, you know, I think he was.
Yeah.
But,
so he was trying to cockblock you too.
Yeah, and like it was weird. You know, like she's like, hey, let me pop your pimple, and then we're gone for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're just like chilling in her hotel room, drunk, like we're supposed to be partying. So I'm at this stage in the game, you know, I got a little wine in me. I'm thinking I need to secure the bag for real. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna fucking ruin this party. I'm just going to go out there, go in the bed and like say, all right, guys, I'm done. I'm going to sleep. So I leave, have my shoes on, go in one of the hotel beds. There's 2 queen beds. Lay in one. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to sleep. And everyone's like, okay. And like they still like, they're chilling out for a while. And then the 2 dudes were like, yo, this is whack. So they left. And then that moment, I'm like, all right, I'm securing the bag. And then we woke up. It gets better. We woke up the next day. We're kind of drunk. We woke up. I'm laying next to her. I'm like, yes, I'm feeling like a champ. Because she was the recruiter. Like that no one was supposed to, you know, like she's kind of like this, like forbidden fruit. And she was like super elegant, like just this beautiful woman. And a woman, you know, I've been used to dealing with girls. 20 years old, like a woman, smart, beautiful. And then I'm like, all right, wake up the next day. I'm like, yeah, I got it. And she like rolls over and she's like, please don't tell me we did that. Ooh. I'm in my soul. I'm just like, are you kidding me? This like, yeah, I actually like, I got a little like in my feelings. And I'm like, you know what? This is my shot. This is it. Like, do or die. So I just went for it again. I'm like, let me remind you why.
Thank God.
And then I went for it. and then, you know, the rest is history. I secured the bag.
Well, that's why you're a great salesman.
Yeah, sell or be sold.
Sell or be fucking
sold. Sell or be sold, man. And look, like persistence is key. Like there was a point though where I wanted to give up. And I felt like I did.
But you kind of did, right?
I did. And
Cassie
but
didn't
then
give
she
up.
just came in. Yeah. So like, I mean, just this whole thing, my whole story is just like, you just really have to want things and just push for them, man. And you're going to get rejected. You're going to have moments where it's just shitty. And I'm sure you've experienced too, you know,
Fuck
like
yeah.
everybody has, you know, just like you go through shit in life and it's like, hey man, why don't you just be aware and know shit's going to happen?
Yeah.
So fuck it. Just just push anyways.
Exactly. Like even on my end, it's like there's some people I've asked like, oh, like I have this little podcast going, like, and then they just like read it and don't respond. I'm like, fuck.
The Instagram, the
scene. I've been left on scene a few times, but
just deletes the gram. Blocks the person. I'm off this.
Like, I want to forget all about that one. But it's like, but at the end of the day, it's like, what does that say about me? Like nothing. Like, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep going, and because I love doing this, you know.
Yeah, and that's that's a key.
Yeah, and I want it.
Yeah, like, the desire for it, and then it's like man, like what's the worst that can happen? Like that sucks. Someone said someone leaves you on red. You know, your ego a little. But it's like what I've come to realize is like super key. People's reactions say more about them than they do about you.
Say that one more time.
Yeah, that's
say that one more time.
Mic drop. So people's reactions say more about them than they do about you. Because it's like, I learned this really from knocking doors. Knock on someone's door, they fucking slam the door, like yell at you. I'm like, what, man? What did I really do? I'm trying to sell you Telus. I'm trying to sell you internet and TV right now, man. Like, why are you? Yeah. And I just realized, I'm like, man, like that. You don't know what that dude's going through. Yeah. His wife could have just called him and said, hey, I'm leaving you for your cousin, you know, like you actually don't know what's happening in people's lives. So it's like when someone snaps or when someone has a reaction that's not optimum, like someone leaves you on red or something like that. It's just like, hey, that says more about that person than it does about me. Yeah. Like I just like poked a button in that person that created this reaction.
Right. Definitely.
Right. So it's just like, hey.
So, but how do you balance that with taking responsibility for things that you need to take responsibility for, you know?
That's a good question.
Like, where do you find the line? And because both statements are true.
That's deep.
You know?
Yeah. So yeah, because it is kind of like a opposite ends of the spectrum. Because it's like you could use that says more about them than it does about me as an excuse.
As an excuse, yeah.
Or you could take responsibility. So yeah, it's a good question. I think like I take responsibility in my life, for everything that I can control. Right. Look, I can't control traffic. Speaking of California,
you're right.
You know, I can't control traffic, but what can I control, man? How I drive. Right. I'm not just going to be a sheep and just wait in traffic. Like I'm going to be aware of opportunities, you know, look for lanes. Like, man, I got here in like 30 minutes, you know, the Jeep. And I don't drive. I used to drive like a savage. Yeah. I'm just smart when I drive. So it's the same thing. I'd say the responsibility is just like take responsibility for what you can control and just don't take things personal.
Definitely.
That's probably the key.
Yeah.
Don't like let it like really hurt you and introvert you, you know?
Right.
Like,
that's the
key, you know?
That's the key. Cause even I've seen that too. Like when I do something that's like, I get left on scene. I'm like, fuck, like I don't even want to like leave my house. I don't like, you know, but then it's like, what am I even, why would I feel like that? And then you have to check yourself. And,
yeah, man. And like just on that subject too, like, you know, that introverted feeling that you get?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do anything. So you know how people like kind of put labels on things? Yeah. Like, oh, that guy's an introvert. Or, oh, I'm an introvert. Like some of you watching this right now, like, oh, I'm an introvert. I could never do door to door. That was me. Like I was literally an introverted kid that was just like, man, I just got to figure stuff out. Yeah. Because again, like what am I going to take responsibility for? Am I just going to like be a victim and just like let my life pass me by? I'm like 50 years old. I'm like, man, I didn't do what I wanted to do.
That would fucking suck.
And it's just like, I don't actually think people are introverts and extroverts. I think like there's moments where you experience both, you know, like think about like me and you hanging out. I'm super comfortable with you. Yeah. I'm going to be extroverted with you. You know what I mean? Definitely. I'm not going to be like, I hope he likes me. Like I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be myself. You're my bro. Like it's just, you know, but then like, hey, if I walk into a room full of 50 people I don't know, that's introverting. Yeah. I'm not a social butterfly, man. I'm not, you know, I'm not just going to like, but I have to like turn something on. Right. Right. If I want to like get into communication with people. Exactly. And that's why a lot of like the personal development I've done has helped, because it's like I've just identified like I don't need to label myself as this. I don't need to label myself as an introvert, an extrovert, social, non-social. I'm me. Right. And I'm just going to be me all the time. And that pays off in the long run.
No, definitely. And I love that. I mean, I don't know how much you can touch on this, but we were talking about something a bit before where you said you like to get in present time, you have like this personal development thing. Like, I don't know if you can talk about that a little bit or like.
Yeah. So.
But that shit sounded. Was tripping me out.
Yeah, man. It's some cool stuff. So you know, we were speaking, you've done like some meditation stuff. Yeah. in the past, and I was huge on like the spiritual. When I was smoking weed, I went down this like, I think everybody does.
Yeah, for sure.
This path of like self-discovery. So I was like reading books like Asking It Is Given, The Alchemist.
I read both of those.
Yeah, like good books though. Yeah, I really like The Alchemist. That's a good story. Yeah. So I just like, I just always have been searching for answers. I did not accept, like I remember I grew up Greek Orthodox.
Damn.
Yeah. So like religious, my mom wasn't that religious, but like my aunt, you would do like the cross before we ate, like, pray before we ate. And I remember from a kid just questioning it. I'm like, all right, because, Adam and Eve story, right? Greek Orthodox believes in that. So I'm like, all right, there's two people. They have a kid. And then what? So I was that kid, that was always just like questioning shit. So then I started this journey of like self-discovery, started doing meditation, like just all these things, listening to like, a bunch of like audiobooks and just trying to like discover me.
Yeah.
And I found like the meditation stuff. I don't know what your experience is with it. I'm like, what am I trying to do here? I'm trying to meditate so I could like quiet this down.
That's exactly
and
what
get in the
my
moment.
experience is,
And like people have so many different things. Working out is great, for getting in the moment. But I just found it wasn't permanent. I'd meditate and, listening to, what's that? There's an app, right?
Headspace?
Yeah.
There's
something like
a
that.
bunch of different apps.
So I'm like laying in my
like
bed.
Yeah.
I got sweatpants. I got sweatpants on. Listening to
All
white. White sweatpants.
Let the aura glow.
Yeah, man. So I did that. And then I'm like, I feel good. And then like I go to knock doors and door gets slammed on my face. And I'm like, introvert.
Yeah.
In my head. I'm not in the moment anymore. So I found this thing that, this whole organization that there is like courses, so to speak. It's kind of like a staircase of development.
Yeah.
And one of the first ones you do, the second like major action you do is it's confronting like this. It's confronting like the physical universe. Like I believe, it sounds crazy, right?
This was
like,
fucking me up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like some of this shit I'm about to drop, get ready. So it's like, it's just this, it's like, look, this is again, my belief, my opinion on things. It's like, I'm me, I'm Andrew Kaspiris, right? I got my identity going. And then there's other people and they got their whole identities going. And, tying it back to like a lot of like the fundamental spiritual beliefs, it's like, in Greek Orthodox, at least, it was like you have the spirit, the mind, and body. And that was like, I think like the three things. And I always did resonate with that. Like the spirit, especially the spiritual stuff. I was always, something like hit me about spiritualism that I was like, there's something there. I've done like Reiki. Like all this stuff. To try to find it. And it's just like, someone did this exercise with me that blew my mind. And like for people listening, like this is something that would get, and you could do with me right now. Yeah. It's like, think about like just right now, picture in your mind, picture an elephant. Like just think about an elephant. Right, you got that thought?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so it's like, think about that. Where were you, like, where was that? Was the elephant like physically like in your skull?
No.
Right, obviously not. You're using your mind.
Yeah.
To think of what? Pictures. Think of concepts. So you have a mind. You have a body and you have a mind. It's pretty fundamental. Now the question, this is where like I tripped the fuck out. So you thought about that picture. Who's looking at it?
Johnny?
Yeah, but like, are you physically, you're looking at me. I didn't see you look somewhere else. It's like, who's looking at these pictures? Who's creating these pictures? So man, it's some crazy stuff. It's like looking at your hand. You're like, whoa, man. It like, it's trippy. Like, so I heard that and I was just like, whoa. Again, and it was real for me. There's this expression, we talked about it before.
This is great.
Yeah, this is a money little liner. What's true for you is true for you. If something I'm saying or something anybody's saying doesn't resonate with you, don't stick with it. Yeah. But that little exercise like hit me so deep, it's not even funny. I literally like started looking at things different. I was like, whoa, like, and I kind of like had this moment where it felt like I was playing Grand Theft Auto or like The Sims.
You're controlling.
Yeah, I'm like,
controlling Andrew Kaspiris.
Yeah, and then so there's these courses, going back to your question. There's these courses you can take that you confront enough like physical universe stuff where you can get in present time. So it would be like, just simply looking at something, right? Like simply observing something, touching something, like knowing that it's there. You do that, man. Like there's this one process. You do like 12 and a half hours of like someone telling you to like find something in the room, walk over to it, touch it, let go for 12, I think it's 12 and a half hours.
Like in how long of not a 12-hour clip, right?
No,
it's
not
like
a
2-hour
full
clip.
Yeah, like as long as people can do. You know, I've done, I think my longest has been like 8 hours of doing something. Yeah, on like a Saturday, just bang out.
Wait, so what did that do for you exactly? Because there's got to be like an initial like what the fuck am I?
Oh yeah,
like
what am I doing?
Yeah,
I'm touching walls. What the fuck? You know, how is this gonna help me get in the moment?
Yeah.
But then there's moments you have those like you may have experienced the whole like who's looking at it. Like for me, when I experienced that, I literally like kind of looked at shit different. So you start doing that for a long enough time, and you start experiencing those moments, and then at least what happened for me is that became permanent. So it's just like, yeah, I'm just like, man, I'm in present time. And like shit happens where stuff pulls you out of present time.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like someone yells at you and that might throw you out. But I know how to just get myself back and stay there. Right? So it's like at the end of it. So
how do you get back?
I just like focus on shit that's here.
Right.
Because it's like
the 12 hours like switched you.
Well, just the whole thing is probably close to 100 hours. Yeah, 125 probably. Yeah. And it's just I've learned like, hey man, like, because what happens, right? Like if you think about when you introvert, someone says something to you, right? Or someone yells at you, and it just literally, you go back to like the past.
Exactly.
That's literally what happens. You go back to like, oh man, when I was a kid, my dad yelled at me, you know, and like hit me or some shit like that.
But that's subconscious, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe not every time, but
yeah, like, it depends like how serious the moment was, right? If someone like yells at you and it's like someone you respect, that could send you back somewhere. Yeah. Or if it's just like if someone brushes you when you walk by, you're just like, the hell, asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done enough of it where it's just like, yeah, man, I just like get into present time. Like just look at stuff around me, appreciate. And it's cool because like that's what I was looking for with weed. You know, like I'd smoke weed and then like look at views, you know, I'd look at like dope views and just like try to like really take them in. But it was fake. Because it was artificial. Because I had to do something. I had to smoke something
to get that.
Like what I wanted. Where it's just like now I'm just like, hey man, I could actually look at a view and like take it in. Yeah. The details, like birds flying, like hearing stuff, like all of my perceptions just like leveled up.
That's amazing, man.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And it's like playing a video game. It's just like leveling your character up. Yeah. Like think about that. Like just how do you level your character up all the time? I remember, you ever play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
Of course.
Okay, like CJ, you go to the gym, he comes out, he's just
jacked up.
Like, I wish it was that quick.
Yeah.
You know, I wish anything in my life was that quick. It never is.
Yeah.
But like that's what life is. You have this character. Why don't you just level him up?
Level him up.
Just try it out.
So is that how you look at your life, like big picture wise?
Yeah, and I don't take it as serious as people may think. Like I haven't had a sip of alcohol since Valentine's Day of 2017. So that's
going on 3 years.
Going on 3 years. I haven't smoked weed in over 3 years, probably almost 4 years. So you know,
why did you stop smoking weed? Is that just because you found the effects without it? Like found how to get those results without it?
I stopped way before I started doing all these courses. But it's just like I just never felt good after or drinking. I wake up the next day, I'm like, fuck, I'm hungover. I don't want to do anything, and it just never really like got me what I wanted. Right. It's artificial. It's not like a real, you know what I mean? Like
I mean,
at least for me.
I feel that. No.
So when I tell people that, they're like, man, like this dude lives a intense life. Like, you know, working 10, 14, 16-hour days. Yeah. Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. Do you not have fun? Like I get that all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do you not have fun? Why don't you live a little, bro?
Yeah.
But bro, I'm living. like trust me.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, man. Like I'm in California for 3 months of the year, like just doing me.
Yeah.
Like I'm living. My girlfriend and I like doing what I want. Like I'm living, right? So like the key with it is like I don't take things as serious as people may think. Because you hear this, you're like, fuck, this guy's had a beer.
You're super mellow, dude. Like
as I try to be just me, fun, light. And that's how I feel like most people are, man. If I get, you think you're an introvert, right? People watching.
Yeah.
If I put you in your complete comfort zone, you're around people you know, I guarantee you're not like all freaking weird and what you think an introvert is like. I guarantee you're like chill.
100%.
So I've done a lot of personal development, a lot of work on myself to like just be me as much as I can, and I don't take things seriously. Like, and when I say that again, there's always people like, what do you mean you don't take life seriously? And I'm just like, no, man, like it's fun. This whole life thing is just dope.
Yeah.
You know, like we just get to like live on this cool area, get to go where we want. You're actually not tied down to anything.
Yeah.
Like I'm from literally across this country and north. And I'm here right now. You think about it, right? Like most people live with where their parents raised them.
Definitely.
You're not stuck there. Like you could just go wherever you want.
It's just
like,
so refreshing, man.
Yeah. And it's like, it's
outlook.
cool to experience that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I actually don't take my life serious in the sense of like, I need to do this, this, and this, or else I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like I'm just going to.
It's not like you're not enjoying it right now.
Yeah, man, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But there's moments when I hate it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know? And it's crazy because if I look back on 18-year-old Andrew and I'm just like making $250,000 a year, 18-year-old Andrew would have been like tripping. Like, holy crap. Like, that's, you got it made.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then there's moments, you know, where I'm just like, man, like this sucks. I'm broke. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, man, living in Vancouver, you know,
it's expensive
making $250,000 a year and like providing for your family, like you're broke. Like you're not, I mean, you could do stuff, but
that's a crazy statement.
Yeah, I know. Some comments.
People gonna be pissed.
Yeah, people hating on me. But it's like, hey, whatever. That says more about you than it does about me.
There we go. Tie it all in.
So yeah, I know I've just been like living my life recently in that just like, hey, like I'm not going to take it seriously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you hear people, the whole like, it's about the journey, not the destination.
You don't like that one? That's what I'm getting from the tone.
I'm just like, man, because you might hear what I'm saying and think, oh yeah, that's what that dude believes in.
Yeah.
No, the destination matters. Man, if I was driving from Vancouver to LA and I didn't care about the destination, I probably wouldn't have ended up here.
Yeah.
Probably got side toured somewhere else. Like the destination matters. That's the like direction that you're going in. Of course, enjoy the journey, man. I don't hate every minute of my life. I love my life.
Yeah.
There's moments where I really want to get to the next level. I wish there was a fast forward button sometimes. So let me just jump into like 5 years from now, you know, like multi-millionaire, just killing it. But it's like, what I've learned is like these moments let you appreciate that. And that's where I do agree with the destination. You know what I mean? It's like when I was broke, making $30,000 a year, that's what's helped me appreciate 250.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and people might hear me say 250 grand, you're broke. Oh, that guy's not grateful. Man, I'm super grateful. Yeah. My life is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a perspective. It's all perspective.
Yeah. It's a fact.
Yeah.
So where is the destination for you?
That's a good question. So I've always had this dream, even when I was like a young kid. I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. So like huge Dallas. I love the Dallas Cowboys. Anytime I hear someone's from Texas, I'm like, you like the Cowboys?
Wait, really?
Yeah, I know.
Like American football?
I know, right? Canadians, all of us like hockey or some shit, playing lacrosse. No, I love American football. I think NFL, like, I actually believe like football, like American football is the greatest sport ever invented.
Really?
It's like chess with humans. Like it's calculated. It's not just like soccer and dudes kicking around on a field, which, by the way, I respect because that's talent. Basketball, like talent, skill, the discipline, like the stamina, all that stuff I admire. I love football because it's like calculated.
Yeah.
The play, you have a play, give a shot, shoot your shot.
Back to it.
And then it's like, all right, everyone reorganized. Let's do this again. Whereas a lot of other sports are very free flowing and it's not as like methodical. And I know it is to a certain degree. I just love football. So anyways, the destination thing, I don't want to go off into sports because people will start hating on me. Just soccer fans just ripping me. So the destination for me, and the reason I brought up the Cowboys, I would love to own the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I don't even know if a Canadian can own. Like, I don't even know if that's a realistic dream.
I think if you got enough money,
I mean, hit my guy, you know, just like, hey,
where's Jerry Jones at?
Yeah, Jerry Jones, hit me up. You're watching. So again, I don't even know if it's possible, but that like really excites me. Like, I don't even care how old I am. Just owning the Dallas Cowboys would be like my ideal scene. Like that, you know, that excites me.
That's fucking amazing, dude.
And it's just like I want to be a billionaire. Like I genuinely want it. You have to be a billionaire to own.
Right,
Dallas
for sure.
Cowboys is $1 billion football team.
Yeah.
And when I say that though to people, I find sometimes it's like, it sounds really crazy, like billionaire. You know, like it's just this like you think of like guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, like Bill Gates, like all these dudes, and they seem like such out of your reach, but it's like, man, those are just regular people. Yeah. Like they're just people who just had a desire for something.
Right.
Some of them it wasn't money. You know, but I guarantee you
like Elon.
Yeah, like that dude's motivated by like, hey, like how do I help civilization
how do I
live?
make us an interplanetary species?
I love Elon Musk. Like that dude,
switched on. Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah. So for me, owning the Dallas Cowboys would just be like my end goal.
Yeah.
Like that for me, like once I did that would be like not like I'm going to end anything. I'm still going to have goals, but like that would be like I've accomplished the biggest goal, one of the biggest goals ever had in my life. So, but along the way, man, like I want to just do dope things.
Yeah.
Help. I definitely want to like impact people, like really help, make a difference in like communities and like all across the world. So,
are you motivated by the money then, the billion, or is that? Are you motivated by?
I'm not afraid to own that.
I know. I love that you just
like
own
fuck
it.
Yeah, man, like a billion. And anybody who's watching this who's like, oh, like shouldn't be motivated by money, man. You know what $1 billion could do?
Help a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, man. Like even if you don't want it for yourself, even if you don't want to own the Dallas Cowboys, okay?
Yeah.
It's just like, man, you should, if you can get $1 billion, you should. Because even if it's not for yourself, even if you don't want to fly a private jet and like live that life, man, think about what you could do with $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's a chunk of change right there. And I'm sure as I get closer and closer and closer to that goal, I'll set more ridiculous
goals. Never ends.
Yeah, like, and that's the cool thing.
I know.
So how I see myself getting there is like I'm teamed up with a really cool group right now with Grant Cardone, like this whole thing we're building. So that's definitely going to play a really big part. I think real estate holds like the
multifamily.
Yeah, shout out Grant Cardone. I just see that as like a really good vehicle. To like quickly expand. Grant in like the past few years has just blown up from real estate. The multifamily homes, what he's doing with that is I think they own Cardone Capital is like 6,000 units. So it's over $1 billion portfolio.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, man, imagine 6,000 doors paying you every month. Obviously not all of that's profit, but it's like, man, imagine 100,000 doors paying you every single month, right? So like,
I love how your mind works.
Yeah, it's just like, that's a cool game to like play.
No, definitely.
That excites me.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got to start wrapping up. We've done over an hour now. Shit. I feel
I
like we could go like 3, dude.
Oh,
like,
yeah. This is one of those Joe Rogan, like 3-hour podcasts.
Just keep fucking going. Yeah. But there's one thing I want to touch on before you get out of here.
Yeah.
I seen one of your Instagram live streams where you're cold calling and like this dude just hangs up on you and you're like, I'm gonna call him back.
Yeah.
And you call him back and like get a meeting set up. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like this dude is different. Like, so what I don't even know like what to ask you about that. That was just so
what were
nuts.
you thinking?
I've never seen anything like that.
And that's why I love our like the company, because the culture, man. Like, that's the Grant Cardone culture. Like that's the YESA thing. It's just like persistence.
Right.
So like what goes on in my mind, like when someone hangs up on, if it's like a week hang up, like if you listen to that, like, the dude didn't like, fuck you, never call me.
He wasn't
the dude's
like
just like, not interested, click.
Yeah.
I actually didn't communicate with that guy. If you think about it, he associated me with all the other cold callers that call him. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, oh, fuck, a telemarketer, click.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I got to get into communication with this guy. So I'm just going to call him back. Like, let me just like get into communication. That's probably like, think about how many surface level conversations occur. Like this is like a Canadian thing. Canadians are known for being like super nice, like polite. It's just such a standard thing. It's like you see someone, hey, how's it going? Good, thanks. How are you? Good. You did not talk with that person.
No.
Like you think you actually communicated, but you didn't.
Right.
Just surface level bullshit.
Ooh,
like
that's so true.
And think about how many of those conversations happen in sales. People think like, oh, building rapport. Shut up. You're not actually talking. Like you're talking, but you're not communicating.
Yeah.
So like a key thing that I always look to do is just, hey, how do I actually get into communication with people?
You're talking, you're not communicating.
That's what most
that
people
just
do.
rang true for so many interactions that I have in my life.
Right?
That's
even
crazy.
On social media. Like,
it's exactly what social media is for me.
Sometimes I'm just like, hey man, like I'd rather just like get into a real conversation and think about the difference that makes. Like even right now.
Yeah. That's why I started this. Like honestly. I'm just not having enough.
But you get into real fucking communication, like real communication with people. And like for me, that's so valuable. Mm-hmm. And being able to do that with my girlfriend, being able to do that with my friends, my family. Yeah. It's like, man, that's a big reason why I put in so much work on myself. It's because I want to be able to like live a real life and experience like real shit, not just go through the standard, like I'm going to work till I'm 50, 55, 60 in a job that I hate make shit money, not be able to live like a dope life along the way.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, none of that sounds appealing.
Right.
For me, I'm just like, hey, let me just take the time out of the equation. You earn a bunch of money along the way. Keep doing that so that I could like, you know, play the game of life, and then just like connect with dope people. You know, like just have cool people. Like think about, I'm a Canadian. I was born, like, I'm from this little small area up north, you know? And, like, you and I hit it off and have become friends. Just,
fuck yeah.
Like, how crazy is that?
I know, it's nuts.
It's, like, literally opposite ends of, like, you know, this North
America.
American. Yeah. Like, crazy that, like, that kind of shit can happen. Like, that's the world we live in. So I want to have, like, you know, those connections everywhere. And just be connected with, like, really dope people, like people that I actually fuck with, and like we agree on viewpoints, because all the friends people have, you know, they're people who agree with what you agree with. Exactly. So I just want to have like a massive network of that.
Like everywhere. You're staying with someone out here who you met somewhere else, right? Like in Aruba.
I met in Aruba. Yeah. I stay with this couple. We'll wrap on this. I meet this couple in Aruba. I'm on this cruise, this like personal development trip. It's on a cruise. It's like a week long. Yeah. And me and my buddy Conrad. Shout out Conrad.
Oh, I love Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad. That's one of like the, you know, dudes that I got like a real like I said, like a brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck, like I've known the guy for 3 years maybe, and like that dude and I are, you know, so shit like that is why I get amped. So, anyways, on this ship, and you know, Conrad and I are sitting down, and then this performer comes on the ship, and like we're in their seat pretty much, like we're in this like a musician seat. So I'm like, no disrespect, like hey, we're gonna leave. So we leave. The hostess or the waitress, whatever, she said, hey, you can sit with these people. This like older couple, not like elderly people, but you know, 40s, 50s. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm social. Like I'm feeling good right now. Like I'll talk with anybody. So we sit with them, going back and forth. Find out the dude's from Alberta province in Canada. I'm like, oh, no way. Like, I live in BC. I live in British Columbia. So we just, like, hit it off. Yeah. And, you know, a couple of days go by. We're just, like, super tight. And they're like, hey, if you ever come to L.A., feel free to stay with us. And opportunities popped up for me to be here, you know? And that's why connections are, like, so dope. And the last thing is just, Grant says this, and I love this. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. And it's just like, hey, they knew me. Because if I just knew them, but they actually didn't really know me, and I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm coming to LA.
I didn't even get that until you just...
It's deep.
One more time? It's not
about who you know. It's about who knows you.
Right. So that's all about communicating.
Like, getting into real communication.
There you go.
Right. So that's it. It's all right. We could do this. I feel like we could genuinely do this for like 3 4 hours. Yeah. Maybe we'll have
for real. No, for real. I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. Anytime you're in town, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kaspiris, thanks for coming, dog.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, guys.